everybody. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could also hit that notification bell so you could be notified anytime we put out new content, that would be appreciated also. So I want to discuss a band that I started listening to when I was a kid because my mom had this record when I was like 6, 7 years old, and that would be Rainbow's 1982 album, Straight Between the Eyes. So let's cut to the chase. This album was released April 12th of 1982. It was released on the Polydor label overseas and the Mercury label here in America. It was produced by bassist Roger Glover. It reached as high as number 30 on the charts, which at the time was their highest charting record. There's been no certifications for gold or platinum in America. However, it was certified silver in the UK for sales of 60,000 and gold in Finland for sales of 25,000. But unfortunately, nothing here, which is kind of surprising because it was a pretty big record. So let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. All right, so as you can tell, and I didn't think this through before I did this video, my particular copy of this has seen better days. There is some wear and tear on the bottom here. I do need to buy another copy of this, but this is what we have for now. So here we go. Here is the front cover with the guitar coming out straight between the eyes. And if I'm not mistaken, my mom went to this show, and I think the backdrop on the stage was this same thing, from what she told me. Maybe somebody can verify that in the comments below, but there's the front cover. If you look at the back cover, I'm assuming that's the eyes of the 5 members of the band, as well as track listings and other stuff, some liner notes and some different things. All right, so let's take a look on the inside. So if you think the cover's in bad shape, I'm pretty sure the inner sleeve is in even worse shape, but we'll do the best we can here. All right, so on one side of it, we have the lyrics to the album, which is really cool. And on the other side, we have a picture of the band as they were in 1982 with Ritchie Blackmore, the guitar player, featured prominently in the middle, along with Roger Glover, Joe Lynn Turner, Bobby Rondinelli, and I'm trying to remember what the keyboard player's name was. Sorry, David Rosenthal. I couldn't remember your name right away, but there you are. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this record, and I'm going to do this and try to make it not look as torn up as it actually is. I failed. All right. So this is actually a really cool record, with a really cool sticker in the middle with the eyeball and the track listing and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of neat. Same thing on the other side there. All right, so let's see if we can reassemble this. Like I said, I do need to buy a new copy of this album because it is one of my favorite albums of this particular band, as well as the lineage of this band, which goes back to Deep Purple. But there you go. There's Rainbow Straight Between the Eyes. So this was their biggest album in America. The album they made after this, Been Out of Shape, was also a top 40 record, but this was the biggest one. It was their first top 40 record in America, and also had their first top 40 single, which was a song called Stone Cold. Let's see, like I said, the band consisted at that time of Ritchie Blackmore and Roger Glover, both formerly and somewhat current Deep Purple. Joe Lynn Turner, who was also another Deep Purple alumni eventually. David Rosenthal on keyboards and Bobby Rondinelli on drums. The reviews were mixed, I guess, depending on where you look. I would say most rock publications gave it a good review. Rolling Stone didn't, but it's Rolling Stone, and I mean, Rolling Stone is really only good if you run out of toilet paper. I mean, that's really its only purpose in life at this point. That's just my opinion. All right, but let's talk about some of the songs on this record. It starts off with Death Alley Driver, which is just a badass, like, hardcore rocker, like, very much in the style of Highway Star, big guitar solo in the middle, big keyboard solo and everything, and probably in my opinion, one of my favorite Ritchie Blackmore solos. Total air guitar material. Then goes into Stone Cold, like I said, the top 40 song that still gets a lot of run on classic rock radio and other places. There's a song called Tearing Out My Heart on here, which is very, very reminiscent of Mistreated, the old Deep Purple song. And then if you go to the other song, one of the best songs on here is a song called Power, which lyrically is kind of dumb, but it's got a fun riff. It's got a fun beat that's easy to just kind of raise your fist to. In a fun little chorus to sing. And then there's other great songs, Mistreated, Rock Fever, Eyes of Fire. I mean, all the songs on this album are great. And for me, this was my first, I didn't know it at the time, but this was actually my introduction to all things Deep Purple. Rainbow being a band that Ritchie Blackmore formed after he left Deep Purple in 75, initially had Dio, and then Graham Bonnet, and then of course Joe Lynn Turner. And then later on, when I found out Joe Lynn Turner had joined Deep Purple with Roger Glover and Ritchie Blackmore in the late 80s, early 90s, That's what got me into Deep Purple. And then, of course, I reached back from there and, found out all about, the Mark II lineup and, David Coverdale being in Deep Purple and all these great things. Everything from that stemmed from my experience with this particular album right here. So big deal for me because I'm a huge Deep Purple fan. I'm a huge Whitesnake fan. And I'm a huge Rainbow fan, and it all stemmed from this bad boy right here. So after this record, they would release one more album called Been Out of Shape in 1984, I think it was, 83, 84. And then Blackmore and Glover returned to Deep Purple, so Rainbow was dissolved at the time. And like I said, Joe Lynn Turner would eventually join Deep Purple for an album in 1990. And then Rainbow's been reactivated by Ritchie Blackmore a couple of times, but with a completely different cast of members than anybody that was on the essential albums of the mid to late 70s and early 80s. So, maybe I'll do a follow-up video on Been Out of Shape at some point because that's another great record. But here we go. Rainbow, Straight Between the Eyes. Check it out. I'm sure you guys have heard the song Stone Cold before. It's not real hard to find this video or this album in your used record stores, but if you don't want to do that, it's available on all the streaming services, Apple Music, and everything else. So check it out. You won't be disappointed. If you like Deep Purple, if you like Whitesnake, if you like things in that vein, this is another band in that family tree. So check it out. That's all I've got for you this time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out new content. I've got the rest of my Inside the Vinyl series where we discuss lost classics. We also discuss live albums. We also do some unboxing on there where we unbox new albums, reissues, box sets. Sometimes they're CDs. It just depends on what's coming out. I've got some live footage from some different festivals and concerts over the last few years. And hopefully some more content for that coming soon as well. And if you're into disc golf and want to see some mediocre play, I've got some mediocre disc golf videos featuring some mediocre players, myself included. Sorry about that. Anyway, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. Peace out.
There you go, boy.